Greetings, adventurers! We hope you've been enjoying your stay on the Isle of Silver Shores so far. We were admittedly a bit nervous to end the last episode with an epic poem and a bardic song, but your comments have been encouraging to say the least, so thank you so much for bolstering our confidence of late. It's a far cry from the early Apple reviews of, "I hate hearing your DM breathe." And I'm truly excited because from this point onward, practically in every episode, our survivors will be on a razor's edge, navigating decisions that can easily lead to the death of the entire party. And rest assured, there will be no do-overs, no cheating. This is a game of fate, where the dice rolls are lethal, and if these characters die, they will remain dead. A quick reminder, you can play an early release of this adventure, Shores of the Silver Thrum, by going to our Patreon. We just added 20 new pages of expanded content, from Embergrad becoming a full-fledged city to literally fleshing out numerous locations in the Isle of Silver Shores. A link is in the show notes. You can also pick up a hardcover or PDF copy of our first book release, Unnatural Horrors, which includes Domain of the Nameless God on darkdice.com. And with all that out of the way, let's get to the story.
Shalis de pace. Salis.
Do you seek him?
Do you seek him?
Do you seek him?
Do you seek him?
Do you seek the nameless god?
You have found yourself among those who roll the dark dice. What you are about to hear happened long ago, a story brought back from the edge of oblivion, dutifully transcribed and enhanced orally to better captivate your attention. Previously, our survivors found themselves within the warmth and friendship of Inlet Hearth, a halfling village. They slept soundly, unaware of the cruel twist of fate that awaited them when they woke up. Dark Dice, Shores of the Silver Thrum, Chapter 14, Echoes of the Hearth.
The roars of the sea were endless. Below the plateau of the small village, the waves rolled rocks in an endless assault. Above, within Inlet Hearth's small halfling longhouse, the team fell asleep. Everyone, that is, except Ajay, whose ancestors were louder than normal this evening. They appeared to him in the place between the waking world and the realm of dreams, each waving their arms, calling out wordlessly to catch his attention. But Ajay was exhausted. Beyond exhausted, and they were unable to share their desperate message with him, succeeding only in waking him up just enough to deprive him of the desperately sought night's rest. But finally, as one orc form placed a strong, ghostly hand on his shoulder, when he could no longer stand their desperate pleas, Ajay sat up and rubbed his eyes. Through Ajay's tired vision, the longhouse barely stood. Its fireplaces were collapsed, their loose stones exposing the soot-ridden innards of the chimneys. The support they once gave had given way. Clouded, weak moonlight peeked in through jagged holes in the scant remaining roof and gaps in the walls where wooden supports had buckled and crumbled away decades ago, if not more. None of the lively paintings remained, and many of the wooden tables and benches were missing or disassembled, presumably for firewood during dire times. There on the floor near Jare glinted a ruby.
I'll take my staff and I'm gonna hold my finger up to my lips and just poke Jare awake. Just shh, shh, shh. Jare.
Look.
Blinking awake, the chill bit at Jare's eyes, lips, and the tips of his fingers sweeping up along his spine. He could see out to the dull moonlight reflecting ever so slightly off the rolling waves, beyond the few rocks that remained around the collapsed wooden walls. The structure that just a few hours ago had contained so much warmth and laughter was long gone, eroded by the winds and waves of time. As he sat up, he could see that the seal pelts provided for the team by the helpful hands of the halfling inhabitants were rotten and insect-holed. All around them, over crumbled stones and through the holes in the shoddy walls of weathered wood, Jare and Ajay spotted the little halfling homes, each collapsed inward, pressed back down into the earth by the forces of nature. All that had been alive here was long gone. They sat within the desiccated heart of a ghost village.
What?
The team immediately woke up from Yara and Celia's commotion, and their sanity was called into question.
What? Wait, what?
What the fuck?
I do not know what happened, but I'm pretty sure it was Vind's fault.
Vivianna and Vind searched for internal justifications. Vind had, after all, warned them to be suspicious, and this somehow vindicated him. The why wasn't immediately important, only that he had been right. The others, however, gained forced stress, as all of them slowly came to the realization that they were still cold, chilled to the bone, and hungry. The team had not gained the benefits of a long rest, and instead expended hit dice to recover some of their strength.
No one but the small group of survivors were in the building, which had long since collapsed from neglect. Things had certainly been rifled through and perhaps broken for firewood at some point, but there were no signs of occupation or use for a very long time. The only small footsteps seemed to lead to Yuehai, and while it smelled of the ocean, it no longer smelled of the cooked meals they had held in their hands. No one had been within the longhouse for a long, long time.
This is most strange. I have quite a powerful connection to my ancestors. People who came before me and linger in the forests around their descendants, but normally it is, how is it? A whisper on the wind or a small gesture of something. This is something entirely different. It is not ancestors, these are... You were there. They were real, they had weight. They knew things, they gave us knowledge that we did not have. I felt a connection to these... Can anybody else hear that?
It's... Where is that coming from? And I feel like even Celie is making herself known that she can hear it.
What the fuck happened? Yuehai is very stressed and panicking a bit. They were all halflings, and she's not been so welcomed into a community like that in a long time, and this has hit her particularly hard. She had a connection to them. So she's flustered, and she just runs out of the building to look through some of the houses to see if there are any fresh bodies, because while running, she's starting to think, was last night all an illusion, or did this all really just happen overnight and we did not hear anything?
Yuehai gained an extra 8 stress while she searched. She stumbled over collapsed threshold stones and peered into the stone-strewed windows. Empty. All of them.
Yuehai, please! If I can just... Listen. What I was trying to say is this is not, While I have experienced things that are, shall we say, spiritual, this is something entirely different. I believe that whatever spirits were here last night, because I do believe they were some sort of spirit, perhaps manifested by magic or something, they were good. They were trying to aid us. They did aid us. But we do not know what else lingers in this place, and we should proceed with caution. Please do not go off on your own. All of us should stick together before one of us potentially stirs up some trouble.
So what you're saying is that I was right.
Oh shit, you were. Point for Vind.
So my internal clock says it's midday, but it's still completely dark outside, except for small glimmers from the moon. I finish searching the house I was looking into and return to the group. There's no evidence of anyone or anything. Ajay, you were the first one awake. Did you see or hear anything? Did you feel anything? Why is this happening?
I don't think there was anything to see or feel. I think that we were surrounded.
So everything was normal to you? Nothing happened?
No, there was no big event, nothing.
God.
This did
What
not...
is going on?
Yuehai, this did not happen last night. This is always as it has been. There were some spirits here that wanted to help us. That wanted to aid us. This is...
How did you know there are some spirits, like...
I don't know for sure what this magic is. I've never seen it before, but I'm saying it is not dissimilar to something that I experience.
This is so fucked up. What should we do now? What is that sound?
Hey, I'm sorry, but Ajay, you were saying and I can see that they were trying to help us, but if they were trying to help us, Vind, didn't they show you how to keep these fires going or how to get them going? Is there anything still around? Because I'm freezing over here.
Yeah, they did, in fact, and I've been, well, you guys were sleeping. I've been up trying to keep it going, but
I'm starving.
The oil of sorts that they had left me in order to keep it going is dissipated. There's very little left.
No, you did this on purpose, didn't you, Vin? You did this on purpose. You're trying to get us all to this freezing state again. What are you doing?
Yuehai, I'm just as cold as you are, and it's completely illogical for me to. Wait, why would I try to freeze myself and the people I'm traveling with?
Yuehai, as much as I would normally like to blame everything that goes wrong on Vind, I don't think that he is remotely powerful enough to do this. And if he is, then holy shit, we're all dead anyway.
Okay, I'm just gonna try to calm myself down.
Was it all an illusion?
I don't think an illusion, because illusions, your hands, they pass through them. They do not exist materially, but we all felt them.
Okay, guys, has anyone shit this morning?
What?
Sorry, you asking?
Has anyone taken a shit? We all had some food last night, right? So if anyone has taken a shit this morning, we know we actually ate some food last night. Has anyone shit this morning?
Well, I don't know. I have a lot of constipation usually, so I can't really tell. I shit once every 3 days.
What? Oh, what? Okay. Jare, RJ, Vin? No shits?
No
Okay.
shits.
So I guess we didn't actually eat anything last night. Good to know. I didn't shit either.
That's actually a really smart way to figure things out.
Perhaps we should try to focus on the good instead of the shit. And, we could have a look around and see if there's anything useful that perhaps we can burn for heat or to signal a ship with. And I might suggest, if not, maybe we try to seek out this human settlement. See if there is anything there. We don't have any reason to doubt the information we received last night. I felt like this, whatever it was we saw, was at least being truthful with us. So if we have any chance of getting out of here, then... Well, these halflings did not build any ships, correct? But the human fortress may have something that we might be able to use.
I guess so. Can anyone else hear that humming thing, or is it just me being delusional?
No, I can hear it too.
Where is it coming from?
Shall we try to see if we can find the source?
I suppose.
Between freezing to death here and freezing to death on our way to the human settlement, I feel like this is maybe our most immediate concern.
In the back of their throats, near the spine, that's where it was first felt. There was a hum, a vibration in the sapping air that forced a sound upon their minds. A thrum. With the chill in their ears, they could have mistaken it at first for rushing blood, but it did not pulse with their iced hearts, instead maintaining its constant tone. It had no note, only a tension they could not identify, an unsettling stress and strain.
What about the seal pelts of the furry thing that we had last night? Does anyone still have theirs? Maybe we can use them to keep warm, cover ourselves?
It is better than nothing, perhaps, but the ones under me were completely rotted by the time I awoke. It looks like all of them have aged rather poorly, in fact. I don't know if anyone has any kind of magic that can fix them, but...
Oh, I'll fix it. Jare produces his sewing kit from its hidden spot in his inner pocket and tries to thread the needle whilst shaking from the cold. This thing... I feel it's getting louder. Is it getting louder for you too? Or is it just me?
The cold had reached past everyone's skin, into their muscles, and it felt like it was seeping deeper down into their bones. The seal skins from the burrow's doors were all missing, not tattered, but missing, as though they had been removed. And while the shivering survivors searched for other potential sources of heat, their eyes collectively fell upon a large wooden board that was strewn down on the rocks between two piles of rubble.
Guys, that looks like wood. Can one of you bring it in so we can make a fire or torch out of it before the moon goes away again?
We could certainly try.
I think that's a good idea, Yuehai. I'll be right back.
Okay.
He's so nice.
Vivianna.
The team watched Vind as he walked beyond the doorframe of the longhouse, all holding a collective breath, waiting for some creature to pull him away, screaming into the darkness, or for a massive club to come crushing down upon him, breaking him upon the black stones. But it never came. Vind simply reached the wooden boards and began to drag them back toward the remains of the closest old chimney. As Vind returned, Jare quickly found and pocketed the ruby he'd briefly been separated from before continuing his work, sewing up the rotted skins. He'd also picked up several small halfling knives, which he'd found scattered among the broken things they now burned. Wind shook the rattling wood as Vind returned, and Vivianna curiously noticed writing on the other side of the board, a message carved into the wood long ago that had faded with time. She walked forward and grabbed the board from Vind's grip, standing it up to read.
Leave. This is a dead place.
Does it really say that?
Yeah.
Great.
Well, like I said, I think that maybe we should go and find the human settlement. There is nothing for us here. We should just go. There is no reason to linger in a dead place.
But how did it look so real last night?
Maybe because you were too hungry? Or because of your concussion? Or you, Jare, you just died.
We all saw it though, right?
I did.
I did. I felt it. Saw it. Like a home.
We all did. I don't know. Part of me thinks maybe we should not look a gift mimic in the mouth, you know? We should just say thank you very much and make our way, before we risk upsetting any of the spirits that could still linger here.
What a mystery.
Agreed.
I'm so hungry.
Perhaps we could eat Vind.
Sudden pang of insight here. Jare's backpack was standing right next to him, and he hasn't thought about it all night. He's going to open it, and he's going to get out 3 days of rations. Not necessarily concealing the rest, but hey, maybe we're gonna need this later. He's going to share them with everyone, and also pull out a small flask of oil that he may have taken during last night's festivities. Ajay, not sure if you're up for igniting stuff, assuming that this sort of magic is within your wheelhouse. But if you need a little bit of help, I do have a small bit of oil on me.
The oil jar Jare produced from his bag was not as he remembered it. It smelled foul and fetid and no longer flowed, so much as slopped in the small stone jar.
I was going to say I can take care of that if we don't want to waste the oil.
Okay. And Jare pulls out the food and says to everyone, "Here, have some of this."
Without thinking, Yuehai ran to Jare, the dangerous glint in her eyes briefly startling him, and she snatched one of the rations out of his hand. As she held it in front of herself, the logical part of her brain once again took control, and, embarrassed, she glanced toward him before walking away.
Thank you. Thank you very much for this.
I was going to say maybe we should ration these, but,
If we're going by size, I'm a pretty tall tiefling and Yuehai's a pretty short halfling, so I think I should get a full one and you should get a half size.
Standing at 6'10", I just stare at Vivianna like, I think perhaps we should just try to share the food. And after he gets no objection, Ajay will go and find a corner and try a short meditation to reach out and ask his ancestors if they can feel the presence of anyone or see or hear anybody nearby. They exist on a spiritual plane, so I'm hoping they might be able to offer some insights into what we saw last night or perhaps what might be lingering here.
Ajay closed his eyes and dove within his mind, seeking connection with his ancestors. It was quiet for a time, except for the incessant hum that seemed to permeate all around him with no source he could discern. And slowly, after meditating longer than usually required, Ajay saw the outlines of figures he recognized from his past, and from his people, family, friends, and advisors he had known since he was very young. Some he could not recognize, but the feeling of guidance and safety was still there. The figures calmly walked through the remains of the longhouse, as though they were as interested as Ajay was in learning the truth. And as they walked, Ajay's perspective left his body, joining his walking ancestors, and ever so briefly he saw the dark world through their perspective. He could see the faint shades of life and death, the touch of decay brought on by time, and he thought he glanced at the hazy outlines of waves resonating on the wind itself. The waves became clearer, and a curious sensation crept beneath his spectral senses and his physical skin. It vibrated within the rocks around him, the very earth beneath him, and all at once he became aware of just how loud it really was. It was a sensation pressed on the physical world, affecting those around him. But tired as he was, Ajay was not able to maintain concentration in his meditation, and all too quickly the sounds, the vibrations became like white noise, and he rode the confusing wave back into his body, numbing him to his spiritual senses. Concerned, Ajay reached out to his ancestors once more.
Ancestors, I beseech you, please. Do you see anyone with us now? Are there any other spirits around us that you can feel?
Curiously, one of the shades, a large man he was sure he knew but could not recognize due to the disfiguring, vibrating ether, shook his head. Fading from view but clinging to Ajay's spiritual ties, the spirit pointed a large finger over to where a painted mural had been on the wall last night, but was now only crumbling stone.
Thank you for your aid. I do not know what I am doing here. It feels as though I have become lost. I feel so overcome with anger towards this person that I travel with. And it is not like me to be like this, to hold on to anger. I feel my judgment is clouded and I am not doing the best by my people. But it feels so wrong to leave someone like this, to exist in the world free to hurt other people. I am sorry if I am disgracing you or letting you down. I will try to do better. I promise.
The shade approached Ajay. It was about the same height as him, and Ajay was drawn into memories of days among his people, far from this dead land of halflings. He was tired and cold, and felt a pit in his stomach for the evils he felt he endured. But the shade gave Ajay a small smile. They were not disappointed in him. They knew he was trying, and that what he was doing, or trying to do, was what Ajay believed to be right.
Ajay will bow his head and blink open a slightly watery eye. He feels a steely sense of determination inside. He sees that there are some things that he could use to start a fire around him. Pieces of chairs, tables, an old fishnet made of ropes that still hangs above the door. He doesn't want to burn anyone's property, but this place has been abandoned, so he'll start with the remaining parts of the chairs and use prestidigitation to get a fire going. As one of Ajay's ancestors comes forward, places their hand into the wood, and it starts to burn. I'll then move over and grab the fishnet atop the door, since I'm the tallest one, and it'll be good for kindling.
As Ajay placed his hand upon the fishing net, he and the others were suddenly surrounded by voices, by sounds. These were different from whatever spirits they had been surrounded by last night. The room stayed gray and dead, but the voices were clear.
Getting tired?
Well, yeah. I don't see why we need to fix this one. We have another.
We do, but if this one remains broken and the other one breaks when we need it, we will have nothing. We can use our time to create some peace of mind.
It's not like the fish fill the nets. Useless just to keep tossing them in, just to pull up rocks.
You're just hungry. Here, take the last of the salted fish.
Are you sure?
We're bound to have some crab in the traps tomorrow. The sun set under flat clouds. A good omen. Eat.
Oh, okay. Thanks. I'll help pull up the traps tomorrow.
It should be a good time to harvest the rolling kelps, too.
Kelp? That's fine and all, but
What, son?
when it's just kelp, I'm always hungry after.
It's not very filling. Just because your mouth is chewing doesn't mean your hands can't be working. Pick up that part and mend up the holes.
Dad, will the fish come back?
They will. Though I don't know when.
Some of the others are thinking of leaving the island.
I've heard.
Should we go with them?
Do you want to go with them?
I don't know. I've thought about it. The creatures are worsening and the food's been running low. All those who go up on the path, they don't come back the same. They don't come back at all. It's just their body, but their minds are gone. No, we should go. We should leave. This place, it doesn't have to be our home. We can catch other fish in other waters. We just have to go before it's too late.
What, though? What if it's already too late?
What? Why?
Stum and Pether sailed out 2 days ago. The tides, the undertow. They say they've changed. Smaller boats could make it to the deep waters, but they'd not make a voyage to the next island.
Where? Stuck then?
And nets won't mend themselves.
Aye, Dad.
Did you guys see that?
Yes.
Yes? What was it?
Think that was the lingering memory, perhaps?
There was Orir and Oror, right?
Without a doubt.
I think that also confirms, though, that we were not completely losing our minds last night. That there was some truth to what we saw and experienced in this place. That those halflings were, in fact, here. At some point.
Sorry, Ajay. While I feel bad, even worse about it now, before we talk about this, can you get the fire going again, please? It's starting to get small again.
Sorry, yes, of course, I was distracted.
Ajay, maybe let's keep the fishing net. Maybe we could use it, it might have some sort of use in, I don't know, the near future. Let's just maybe burn the rest of the chairs and tables. I can help out as well to keep this small fire going if you need help.
Yes, I think that should be okay. I will spend a few minutes here getting it back to life, but yes, good idea. Let's try to keep the net intact for now. It may be important. And I'll try to get the fire back to full health.
Jare, trying to figure this thing out, is very carefully reaching over to touch the fishing net to see whether or not this thing will happen again.
As Jare touched the fishing net, sounds emanated from it once more, filling the air around the team with a brief echo of life. The sounds played out identically to what they'd previously heard, and as he touched it again, once it had concluded, it repeated again, like a piece of time stuck inside the net's fibers.
Is this maybe more of a record of sorts rather than a lingering memory? Is this could someone have maybe imbued this in a way?
Could I take a look and see if I can detect any kind of magic on it at all?
Ajay required an Arcana check.
13.
Ajay confirmed that it indeed had a faint magical aura about it.
Yes, it is perhaps possible that they left some, like this sign, they sort of left these arcane signs around to try and help us, anyone who might come afterwards, explain what has happened here. We got a little insight into what's happened to some of the people and why they left, so perhaps they are trying to warn us or give us some thoughts.
But as Ajay opened his magical awareness, feeling for the magics within the ropes, he could also feel the humming waves a little more, the vibration stronger, and it made the hairs on his skin prickle. He quickly closed his magical senses, and the feeling subsided greatly.
I think perhaps before we leave we should find out what this hum is, though. I don't want it to... If something is trying to contact us, I don't want to leave without making sure that we have made whatever peace with it that we must. Anyway, going to carry on, and then I need a moment to myself, if that is okay. Just to meditate. And I look at Jare, make eye contact with him, and then just look at Vind. Just, thank you. And then I'll go and sit by the fire and close my eyes.
Vin takes the opportunity to go sit by the fire as well, waiting for Ajay to open his eyes from his meditation. Once again, he's just zoning out. We're in the middle of a very life-threatening situation, and Vin just stares at Ajay, waiting for him to come out of his trance-like state.
I go to Yuehai, motion to Vin, then look at Yuehai, roll my eyes, and go, unbelievable. Unbelievable!
I can smell something. Who is someone close to me, please? If you could just give me some space. One eye just creeps open. What the why are you what is wrong with you?
I didn't know if you had passed and gone on so close to what.
Me. Why what is this?
You just keep mentally disappearing. What are you even doing?
I told you I need some space.
This is no time for space.
I swear to all
this is time.
Can I please, the rest of the group, please, can I just take a second and
Ajay,
just clarify what has happened here? That I will sit peacefully, minding my own business, and suddenly this smelly elf decides to come and sit by me. Why? Did I do something wrong?
First of all, we're all smelly, you know? He's not the only one. We all smell just as equal. And second, maybe he was just trying to, make sure that you're okay, right?
Thank you.
He doesn't seem to be making sure that anyone else is okay. He seems to be slightly obsessed with making sure that I am okay. Please, Vind, just leave me alone.
Because everyone...
I need a moment. I am trying to locate the hum and see if there is any spirits around us. That is all. Please.
Vind, maybe in order to help everyone be a little more okay than they are at this moment, can you help me sew these seal pelts together? Just some nice little ponchos for the road, yes?
Okay, Jare, absolutely. Anything to help. But Ajay, I encourage you one more time. Stop disappearing and nodding off into...
Okay, so I'm not supposed to help the group? If I can maybe find some information, I should just not do that? Because you want me to be here with my eyes open? Because that is what you do normally?
Be what? I do not understand what you are asking of me.
Ajay, you've done this multiple times and nothing has come of it. You're wasting time.
How do you know nothing has come of it? Are you in my mind? Do you know everything I know? Do not insult me like this.
Vivianna.
I had enough of it. Constantly telling everyone what they should do, rather than paying attention to perhaps what you should do. Take care of yourself. Take care of other people. I know what you did on the Willow. Didn't do. Sitting there, doing nothing while we were all struggling, dying. And now, you have the audacity to turn around to me and tell me what I should do. I have had enough. I know what happened. I will tell everyone here that if it weren't for you, that I saw Nimble climbing out of the cave, and what did you do? You ensnared him with your rope. You sent him plunging down and made no attempt to save him. My mind wasn't willing to believe that you were capable of such evil until you tried to kill me not moments after. You are a murderer, a snake in the grass, and you will kill each and every one of us if you get a chance. I have had enough. Do not speak to me again, because if you do, I will remove your head from your fucking shoulders!
Vivianna is just eating a ration while this is happening with her mouth wide open, and she's just whispering like, "Gods, this is better than any of my novels. Rest in peace, Nimble."
This is a classic definition, everyone, of what guilt looks like.
Oh, snap!
Take a good look. They spark up, they get hot-tempered, and then they try to impress everyone. With lies, in fake emotional outbursts, and big speeches. They try to win you over with false passion. But you know, it's not gonna work. Good luck with your nodding off or whatever. I hope it helps someone. In the meantime, Yare, let me help you stitch these pelts together to try to make something we can actually use. Something practical that will actually help us out.
As the vein on Aje's head throbbed and the hum continued to fill their ears, the fire began to flicker. It needed more fuel.
Damn, so, yeah, those pelts, Yare, you need any... I can help too. It's really cold.
Yes, all the help I can get at this point.
And take note, everyone. A true leader doesn't lose his temper as such, and he's calm under heightened tension in intense situations.
Can you just shush it? And let's just all get through this together, all right? Just give Aje some space and let's just get through this quietly.
Yare, if there was if we were like starving, right? And like Seely had no food, would you let Seely eat you?
Hell, if this was a... I mean, I can always do without... Pinky, I guess.
Wow, you're a good person.
But it's never come to this. And I hope that it won't. So please don't go wasting these rations. And he makes very sure that everyone sees that he's just breaking off a small piece and feeding it to Seely.
Yara was now down 3 full rations. The only ones who got a proper meal from them were Seely, Vivianna, and Yuehai. Aje had, very quickly after his spat with Vind, stress-eaten his one and only ration. Their futures looked bleak, cold, and hungry.
Agreed. Let's just eat what we absolutely need to eat. We must be cautious and think of the future.
Vivianna now noticed that Vind was the only one who hadn't eaten. Perhaps the hunter was used to foraging and had not brought emergency rations with him aboard the ship, or they'd not arrived alongside him on the rocky beach.
Damn, are you not gonna eat? I guess that adds to your cool, slender elf build, but you should eat.
Well, Vivianna, I want to make sure everyone else is fed first.
You can have some of mine, which is Yare's. but I'm not gonna tell him that.
Are you sure?
Of course, sharing is caring.
It is. Thank you. It's never... Whatever this is. Food has never tasted so good.
It's the best dried swamp melon you've ever had.
Don't know what that is, but, yeah.
The team ate and warmed themselves by the meager fire, removing 3 levels of hypothermia, reducing their penalty to 3. They burned everything that they could get their hands on, except the strange sign and the fishing net, which was haunted by echoes of a particular sort. They had torn apart the last of the dried tables and chairs, had dragged in snapped fish drying racks, and raided what was reachable from the crumbled burrows. Fuel was running low, but their blood was warming up.
I don't think we're ready to leave yet. Not without a bit more warmth. We'll have to keep looking.
There was a way down I spotted earlier. It goes to the beach on the other side of the rocks. I will check there. Maybe there is some dry driftwood, if anything.
I'll go too. Let's go.
While scavenging the greater village for more things to burn, Aje and Vivianna wandered down a narrow set of stairs along the side of the plateau, which brought them down to the water and the bare-bone remnants of small boathouses, though no boats were present. When they returned to the longhouse, Vivianna was holding aloft a particular-looking oar. The tiefling placed her hand on top of it with a grin and simple explanation.
Hey, look what I found. Pretty cool, huh? Now be quiet and listen.
And to the paddleside pub, the ferry did board, nor the pub did rise the sun, or even the moon and day king swore that the paddleside held the rum. I made it. I can't feel my arms, but I made it. Ooh. Okay.
Huh. Look at this. The sand has it too.
Shining like the stars in the bed of night.
If I could get this home, I'd be rich. I'd be rich. Bread? Psh, not a problem. Beer? Pour it with abundance. Apple crumble. Apple crumble. I bet rich people eat that all the time.
The voice and sounds of the rolling waves faded until only the ocean outside remained. Vivianna held the oar, careful not to touch it again in any other way.
So it sounds like someone arrived on the island. It could be the humans, maybe from decades ago.
All I heard was apple crumble. I can't. Well, apparently, the stuff we're stepping on right here seems to be of some worth to someone. But that's really not my biggest concern right now.
What is your biggest concern, Jare?
Getting warmer. This fire you lit for us did a wonderful job of starting the process, but really, I'm still freezing over here. We're not getting much protection from the elements inside what remains of this longhouse, and I want to get off this island. The longer we wait, the more fuel we use now, well, who knows how long we'll be here.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, we're all with you on that one, Yare. Ajay, you suspect we might be able to find anything out there worth burning? Anything more?
I think that we are just looking for... This is more of the pendulum is going to reach us if we don't leave sort of situation. We should move, really. I do not think even if we find enough stuff to burn, how long will it burn for? A few hours, at most? It will be colder the later it gets. And like Jare said, this building is hardly protection from the elements. So it feels a little bit pointless. Like the sign says, this is a dead place. There is nothing for us here. We should leave.
I agree. I think getting out of here is wise. Do we all agree on perhaps moving as a unit?
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely. Ajay, question: as you were gathering more stuff to burn, was there anything that didn't, decay or has been destroyed? Was there anything sticking out? Was anything still as we saw it yesterday?
Not really. Everything is ruined out there. It is aged by much the passing of time and the way that it comes for everyone. I still think we should probably try to find this human settlement if it is there, where the mining took place. I think if there's any way of getting off this island, the answer is probably there. There's nothing here.
Yeah. Every last building here, except the one we're in right now, is basically unusable and rotten. Even the little boathouse where the wooden oar was. All gone. Barely a foundation.
Well, the feeling has come back to our fingers, and I think the wind has finally begun to subside from the tempest. The clouds are heavy, but we're lucky to have some moonlight.
Maybe we should still turn one of these things into a torch.
Yes, so guys, any one of you here can see in the dark?
I can.
Yes, I have the ability.
Awesome. So 2 of you can, and I can produce flames, so I can have like a little fire in my hand. Well, it should be bright enough for us to see the path, even like with the help of the moonlight. And I guess we should all just stay close. Should we walk in some kind of formation? Maybe like someone who can see in the night better. Maybe we can have one in front and one behind or something.
I do not mind going behind.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yes, Vivianna, I'll escort you.
Oh, of course, because you can't see, can you?
No, I can't. I'll depend on.
I guess I'll be your eyes or something like that.
I think it is perhaps the other way around. Yes.
Huh? What? What'd you say?
I think it is more Vivianna escorting this wind who cannot see in the dark, or
Oh no, I'm so scared in the dark.
physically, I'll be able to help her, and she'll be able to help me be able to see. So together would be a great pair.
Yeah, if a monster just jumped out.
Okay, I'm already bored. Let's go.
I will stand in the middle and produce some flames. Step back a moment. 钻木取火. Okay, Jare, stand beside me, and we'll stand behind Vin and Vivianna.
You could have done that the whole time? Like without fuel?
Well, when it only lasts about 10 minutes, then I'll need to recast it. But I was very tired when we first arrived. Now, okay, Jare, stand beside me. We'll stand behind Vin and Vivianna.
Can do. And I'll send Seely to scout ahead, because she can see in the dark better than all of us.
True.
Schau dich ein bisschen für uns ja?
Hearing Seely's small response, Jare noticed that Seely had been rather quiet since he'd awoke on the beach. And even now she seemed uneasy. He'd ensured that she was fed and warm, but still she seemed hesitant to leave the warmth of the pocket he'd made for her within the rotted sealskin poncho he now wore. And after a moment of tense silence, Jare changed his mind and diverted attentions elsewhere.
Before I forget, we have new ponchos, guys. Vind and I spent the last few hours sewing them for you to keep the cold out. Try them on.
Wow, that's very kind of you.
Vivianna, I would normally cast a spell of guidance upon you, since you're bravely leading us. Unfortunately, I can only have one spell active at a time, and I would very much like to see where we're going, so... Sorry, but you're on your own.
You're not on your own. I'm here for you.
Oh,
sunken one.
Okay.
We should really get moving before our supplies dwindle further. But the bigger question is, which way should we go? I personally think that the road, trodden path, seems the most logical direction. Because otherwise we just head into the wilderness or back to the beach, and I, for one, do not want to go back to the beach, that is for sure.
We've tried our luck on the waters enough for now.
I can still hear that humming sound. I cannot really tell where it's coming from. It just seems like it's everywhere.
Sanity saving throws were made and failed. All except Yuehai gained 7 stress. The sound really started to get to them, get through them, under their skin, prickling the hairs on their limbs and necks. They could feel it in their bones, and increasingly, the sound deeply disturbed them.
The path the villagers spoke of seems to lead up toward a series of switchbacks up the cliffside.
This seems like a good way to go, no?
Yeah, I guess.
They said north to the fort, didn't they? And the human travelers from a few decades ago also went north. I'm not a navigator, but I think this does lead north, so... yeah, let's go.
Ajay stood beside the doorframe. The time had come to leave. And as he watched the others funnel out ahead of him, he was unaware of the mortal dangers that would soon change them forever. Dark Dice, Shores of the Silver Thrum, Chapter 14, Echoes of the Hearth. Created by Travis Vengroff and K.A. Statz. Starring Sam Yeow, Jasper William Cartwright, Eric Nelsen, Florian Seidler, LilyPichu, and Travis Vengroff and K.A. Statz as co-dungeon masters. Also featuring the voices of Alexandria Macaulay and Dayn Russell Leonardson. This episode was co-edited with co-sound design by Travis Vengroff and Finnur Nielsen. Mixed and mastered by Finnur Nielsen. Transcriptions by K.A. Statz and Travis Vengroff. And executive producers Dennis Greenhill, AJ Punkin, Maico Villegas, and Carol Vengroff. This episode features music by David Wise, Stephen Malin, and Brandon Boone. Episodes will be releasing every 2 weeks, so stick around, stay subscribed, and consider joining the Patreon to get episodes ad-free and early. This is a Fool and Scholar production. Thank you for listening.